runner in scoring position number was over 370 this year. Been able to get guys out in the clutch.
Went to drive line, retooled some stuff in the offseason. Sends a bouncer here. All well enough. That's huge.
Yeah, the slider, the lowest batting average, and they're kind of hard to below the league average at a little bit over 91. And there's a hard cutter.
Hey, being comfortable, trusting the defense, getting outs on balls in play.
9. He won a game they won 2-1.
4
home runs, yeah, 4 home runs hit in those first 2 games, and then the slider cutter, kind of similar pitches. And if you see it, it should be an out.
Skied ball into the rafters here, and after a long.
You can play what, all over, right? I mean, you can play center, play a little outfield.
And he's kind of a guy that fits. Gonna have a pretty decent career.
The ball right off his right calf, lead leg. They were afraid, I guess. Chris Woodward said he's hour to hour.
Oof.
Not day to day, hour to hour against the Angels.
Back to Seager, rolls this one up the middle in the shift. Mateo is there to first.
Sure, pitcher for the opposition. I mean, he just made everybody better on this ball club. I mean, as a veteran, draft choice out of Notre Dame, signed for $180,000 and had the kind of career he had for the Orioles. Going to a contending ball club like the Astros. He's going to find out he's got one of the great guys in baseball in Dusty.
Severely underrated it. Spenser Watkins delivers, and he misses with the curve. Getting a little susical. Low in the middle of a 7-game hit streak. It's one shy of a career high. 2 for 3 facing Watkins. But Watkins a nice little lead right now.
Adrenaline running. The next day, I could hardly walk.
Looper foul. Rutschman with an honest.
Out of the slider. He can hit the ball out of the ballpark. Yeah, and I'm not sure he did. Long time between innings. And there's a little cutter. Just a little.
For Watkins. But his last time he saw the Rangers, he was a lot of fastball sliders. He misses up and inside here to Adolis Garcia. But his last outing against the Rays, he was heavy cutter.
I mean, the average not as good on the hook as, but not bad. I mean, 286. Changeup is the highest.
Garcia went 2 for 16 in their series against the Angels, as he has been a guy that their manager Chris Woodward has tabbed. If you're not a fan of him, then you're kind of late to the game.
Yeah, well, rookie of the year last year, and 32 home runs or whatever. And what they like is, and then Duran did, the gapper up the right center field. But he's a free swinger with tremendous power.
I'll back you up a little bit.
And he chases curveball. In his 5 innings, you'd love to get 16 to 21 outs tonight.
Really being a contributor in the big league rotation, and how it made him hungrier this offseason. He wanted to make sure wherever he ended up.
An aberrational year for him. I mean, just did not pitch well, high ERA, team didn't play well.
But it was always, I can't put it here, he's going to do this. I got to think back to the scouting report. As a ground ball laced here into left for Leody Taveras, the switch hitter with a single, and the Rangers get their first.
Do well, because that's the signing bonus he got out of the Dominican Republic.
Cole Calhoun up the right side. Odor in the shift to first, and mounts here than he ever has in the big leagues.
Yeah, I think once he got by the street, you go, okay. And I mentioned it or talked about it earlier. I mean, he's more than that.
Skied ball out in foul territory. Mountcastle plenty of time.
Going school to be able to do. If you're a starting pitcher and you don't strike a lot of guys out, you better get that first guy out. So you don't find you're aggressive, and you know that you can have some success. Because he's he's not a hard thrower. I think he mixes his pitches up pretty well. And when he's on, Kramer couldn't do in Cincinnati.
He's got Josh Smith here, the lefty third baseman, batting just .221.
I was going to say long time right-hander, but he's really not that old. It just seems like he's been around forever.
like a
More like 35, and he's what, 29?
yeah. Still hasn't hit the big 3-0. Go to drive line, retooling the mental approach to hitters as he fouls this one off, and it went from I can't put it here. He changed it to I'm going to put it here.
You can throw a great shaped curveball in the middle of the plate. It's not going to be very effective. Can they catch up with a good fastball? Can they look 3-2 for a curveball? And when you throw it, because that was a good one, about the one you want. Just not 3-2.
So he's been working the fastball, cutter, and curve. He's gotten striking the biggest strikeout guy.
Well, it goes back to your point. If you're making your pitch.
Up and in to Simeon, and it was kind of here. That's exactly where the ball's going to land. So he calls it shortening his mental loop.
Is waiting on deck.
On the ground, back to Urias. Plenty of time. Some solid run support as he's been cruising here.
Yeah, they've kind of have them gradually. You don't want to bunch early, then you get nervous because you have a big inning. They'll get back in the game. So you just kind of want them to gradually offensively.
50 pitches after. That's about what the Orioles worked off of John Gray before he was removed. Ground ball, an awkward hop, but Odor is there. Bag the
with Jonathan Scope and Manny Machado, and he would move from third because he had the strongest arm.
Ground ball back up the middle, diving play. Ramon Urias to first. Leagues as well.
Well, their general manager, Chris Young, was in the major league office for a while, former 6'10" pitcher, and he actually not going to have shifts. So we'll see.
How do you feel about that?
Just get on the field, get on the infield. You want to put 3 guys over there on the right side, fine.
Oh, into the left this time for Nathaniel Lowe, and he's got a single. And that matches his high, an 8-game hit streak.
And the other thing is with the live baseballs, they were warning track fly ball guys that hit home runs because the ball was more lively.
Low to Garcia and Watkins.
Well, pitching's feel and touch.
Watkins works back in.
Be very disappointed if he walks him. And he doesn't.
Garcia, by the way, the
gifts and some tools. I don't. Bo was Bo. I know there's a phrase. Didn't Nike had something?
He knows.
Bo knows.
Bo knows.
Yeah. But I don't know about Bo Jackson.
Not at the mythical level. Payoff for Garcia. Foul, and we'll do it again.
Bo-like? I don't know.
Payoff again. Garcia out to center field this time. Sends Mullins on the run out to the warning track.
Bo would have hit that ball right out of here.
Watkins gets Leody Taveras to start the 5th. First with a single in the 2nd. Again, just one of those 2 hits. Shows bunt. Dutchman mask off with a look.
Yeah, Urias in close enough to.
Adley with the chest down on that one. He did mention, by the way, we talked about the fact that he's calling a good game. And he said actually he does kind of like when he gets to use the pitch comp system. He and Watkins aren't using it. We're going through stuff a lot quicker than we would otherwise. Taveras out to center field. Cedric Mullins on the run, backing up at the 410. No problem.
With wrinkles or
The style of bobbleheads has evolutionized. We got one out to left here. Darren Vavra on the move, and he's got it. Particularly enjoyed that. First pitch strike to Ezekiel Duran. First pitch strikes, working ahead. That's the motto for pitchers. Of course, that this year too. Really thriving on a boost of confidence. He is living at the bottom of the zone. Punch in the chest of, look, this is your 2nd year. You're supposed to be a big leaguer.
That's the most velocity.
Baseman popped up in the 3rd. games, 242. And he chops it. McKenna has to charge in on this one, a 2-out single.
Yeah, I'm not sure he meant to do that. $157 million deal.
You're doing okay. Josh Smith, another bouncer back, but Mountcastle with ease. All of the hits for the Rangers.
Lost the first 2 games against the Twins, not a losing team, and then they won 9 more after that in a row, with under 500 and then 5-5 against teams that are winning ball clubs.
So either way, they're still holding.
I had like 31 against teams with winning records.
And that's a reminder to his bullpen. They were expected to win somewhere in the 60s range. They've boosted that to 78, 79 wins, and of course that fluctuates, and that you look at that does those expected outcomes. He knows he can play around with it now. He's got a little cushion. 80th pitch, Simeon. Ryan Mountcastle goes out.
Like Spenser Watkins becomes unpredictable.
First pitch swinging for Corey Seager out to right. McKenna on the run into the corner. It's in the bullpen. Corey Seager, his team leading 24th home run. The Rangers break up the shutout. The stats recognize that as a fastball, so you had it right.
Yeah.
And a looper, shallow left. Vavra comes on. Get your heart.
It's almost unparalleled. It's been that good.
First pitch swinging again. Shallow center field. Cedric Mullins comes on. It's going to fall in the middle.
So you want to get him out? I mean, it's just because of the scoreboard.
That's the second time he'll back Garcia up. And at Watkins at one point, he had been kind of thrown into some light league club, and those right at the ceiling at AAA were going to fit.
Yeah, nice pitch right there. Well, you look back and again, good fortune. He brought a lot of it upon himself. The Orioles had, John Means with the Tommy John, and there's a little cutter, back door, or maybe front door, so to speak.